Beneath San Jose's gleaming tech, a spectral darkness thrives. Forget startups. Phantom whispers and cold embraces haunt historic sites, their untold tales begging to be unearthed, ready to confront the 15 most terrifying places where shadows dance and the past refuses to rest. Prepare to shiver. 1. Winchester Mystery House, Scientists, writes San Jose. In the hushed shadows of San Jose, California, stands an architectural enigma, a sprawling Victorian mansion known as the Winchester Mystery House. Its very presence exhales a chilling tale of grief, guilt, and the relentless pursuit of peace, or perhaps madness. The air around the estate seems thick with an unseen presence, a perpetual echo of hammers and saws that once toiled day and night for decades. Local rumors, fueled by the mansion's bewildering design, quickly spun into legends. Sarah Winchester, the widow of firearms magnate William Wirt Winchester, an heiress to a vast fortune built on the gun that won the West, suffered immense personal tragedies, losing her infant daughter and then her husband. Distraught, she reportedly consulted a psychic medium in Boston who delivered a terrifying prophecy. Sarah was haunted by the spirits of all those killed by Winchester rifles. To appease these vengeful entities and save her own life, the medium allegedly instructed her to move west and build a house, a construction that must never cease. Thus began a construction project of unparalleled obsession in 1886, continuing relentlessly for 38 years, until Sarah's death in 1922. The house grew into a labyrinthine monument of some 160 rooms, featuring staircases leading to ceilings, doors opening to blank walls or dangerous drops, windows overlooking other rooms, and an eerie obsession with the number 13 woven into its very fabric. These bizarre architectural oddities, including easy riser staircases for Sarah's arthritis, are often attributed to her attempts to confuse and trap the spirits haunting her. Others, however, suggest that many of these strange features, particularly doors and windows opening to nowhere, were simply the result of damage from the 1906 earthquake which toppled a 7-story tower, and hasty, unplanned repairs and additions to the continuously evolving structure. Employees and visitors alike have reported inexplicable footsteps, slamming doors, and the distinct scent of chicken soup, hinting at lingering residual and intelligent hauntings within its walls. Dare you step inside, knowing that every twisting hallway, every dead-end door, every window gazing into darkness might be a deliberate design to ensnare the restless dead, or perhaps to bewilder the living. The Winchester Mystery House stands as a perpetual testament to a mind grappling with grief, guilt, and a ceaseless, desperate need to build a silent, sprawling question mark etched into the landscape of San Jose. St. James Park in Seoul, Sort Sayes Lunsaid. In the heart of San Jose, where sunlight dapples through ancient trees and the murmur of urban life often belies a deeper quiet, lies Street. James Park, a verdant expanse seemingly serene, yet steeped in a history that chills the soul. Beneath its picturesque facade, whispers persist of an unsettling energy, a lingering echo of events too grim for memory, staining the very ground where generations have sought solace and recreation. Locals speak of a palpable weight, a sense of unease that descends with the twilight, suggesting that not all who walked these grounds have truly departed. For this park, once laid out as street, James Square in 1848, has been a witness to California's darkest moments. More than simply a civic space, James Park holds the indelible stain of a brutal act of mob justice. In November 1933, a horrifying spectacle unfolded when Harold Thurmond and John Holmes, accused of the kidnapping and murder of Brooke Hart, were torn from the county jail by an enraged mob. In a chilling display of vigilante fury, the men were dragged into the park and lynched from its trees, an event widely regarded as the last lynching in California. The sheer barbarity of the act, with accounts describing frenzied crowds and celebratory screams, reverberated through the city, leaving an indelible scar. The very trees that bore witness to this atrocity were later removed, perhaps in a futile attempt to erase the memory. Yet the ground itself seems to remember. Further adding to the park's macabre legacy is an eerie pattern of tragic coincidence. Both President William McKinley and Senator Robert F. Kennedy spoke here, only to be assassinated within months of their visits. Even now, a restless energy is said to permeate Street James Park, a spectral resonance from the souls whose violent ends transpired beneath its canopy. One cannot stroll through its pathways without feeling the spectral weight of its past, the phantom cries of injustice, or the lingering shadows of a crowd baying for blood. When you next find yourself passing through Street James Park, listen closely to the wind rustling through the leaves, for it might just carry the faint, mournful echoes of those who never truly left, forever trapped in the memory of San Jose's darkest hour. Three, Hayes Mansion, San Jose. Within the stately confines of San Jose, California, stands the Hayes Mansion, a majestic edifice whose opulent Mission Revival architecture belies a whispered history, woven with both Gilded Age grandeur and unsettling undercurrents. It presents an image of serene luxury, yet beneath its polished surface, some claim lie echoes of a past that refuses to fade. The very ground upon which the current mansion rests held an earlier, more vulnerable structure, the original Hayes family home, a Queen Anne Victorian, which met a fiery demise in 1899. This tragic event prompted spiritualist and matriarch Mary Hayes Chenoweth to commission the current fireproof mansion in 1903, a colossal 41,000 square foot, 62-room residence designed to house her expansive family. Mary, a renowned psychic who had guided her family to wealth through iron ore mining, intended this grand estate, complete with its own power plant, post office, and chapel, to be a beacon of their influence. However, a shroud of melancholy settled upon its completion in 1905, for Mary herself passed away just months before she could ever inhabit her meticulously planned dwelling. It is perhaps this poignant historical detail that fuels the persistent local legends of the Hayes Mansion being significantly haunted. Ghost hunters and paranormal investigators have reportedly encountered at least 3 friendly spirits within its walls, communicating through methods as simple as the flickering of a flashlight. Accounts describe interactions with a male spirit by the patio and a highly energetic, lovely lady who seemingly mimics speech rhythms with a pulsating light, suggesting a lingering conscious presence. The former caretaker is also among the friendly spirits believed to reside there. Continuing his watch over the estate, the mansion, now a luxurious hotel, is widely recognized among paranormal enthusiasts as one of San Jose's most active sites. So, while the Hayes Mansion offers lavish comfort and a glimpse into a bygone era, be warned, you may not be the only guest wandering its grand halls, and the past may be more present than you realize. Four, Hotel de Anza, San Jose. Stepping into the grand lobby of San Jose's Hotel de Anza is like entering a time capsule, a testament to 1930s elegance with its striking zigzag, modern Art Deco architecture, and Spanish colonial revival flourishes, a design marvel since its groundbreaking in 1930 and opening in 1931. Yet, beneath the meticulously restored splendor and jazz-age glamour, a colder current flows through the towering structure, hinting at more than just historical charm. Whispers amongst locals and staff speak of enduring presences, energies that never checked out, creating a tapestry of unease woven into the very fabric of this venerable establishment. These aren't merely vague feelings. The hotel is said to harbor a spirit, particularly active on its upper floors, a restless entity whose existence manifests in chillingly specific ways. Guests have reported the unnerving phenomenon of televisions flickering to life unaided, their screens illuminating empty rooms with an ethereal glow. More unsettling still is the sudden, inexplicable drift of a mysterious perfume scent, a phantom fragrance that permeates locked rooms late at night, often without any discernible source. It's a sensory assault, a spectral reminder that this iconic landmark holds secrets far deeper than its foundation. While not directly tied to these ghostly encounters, the hotel's past includes darker historical footnotes, such as a planned 1933 celebration tragically overshadowed by the infamous Brooke Hart kidnapping and murder, a pivotal event in California's history. These layers of history, both grand and grim, converge to create an atmosphere where the veil between worlds seems perilously thin. Should you find yourself a guest within its historic walls, listen closely to the silent halls and watch for the inexplicable. For in the Hotel de Anza, the past isn't merely remembered, it lingers, a silent, unseen host to those brave enough to stay. Five. San Jose State University, San Jose. The hushed reverence that descends upon San Jose State University after dusk holds a deeper, more chilling weight than mere collegiate quiet. As the vibrant energy of the day recedes, shadows lengthen across its historical architecture, revealing an unspoken narrative, a lingering chill that suggests not all residents have moved on. The very air, particularly within certain academic corridors, can grow heavy with an unsettling presence, a pervasive coldness unrelated to the Bay Area's evening mist. Among the many buildings, local whispers and persistent rumors frequently gravitate towards Yoshihiro Uchida Hall. Despite its contemporary facade, this structure harbors a profound and deeply sorrowful history that predates its current use. During the harrowing years of World War II, this specific site served as a processing center for Japanese internees, a place where countless lives were uprooted, families separated, and personal freedoms brutally stripped away. It was a nexus of fear, despair, and unimaginable injustice, an emotional crucible whose echoes, many believe, never truly faded. Within Uchida Hall, a chilling analysis of paranormal accounts paints a consistent, unsettling picture. Both staff and students have reported experiencing faint, disembodied crying and indistinct voices drifting through the halls, ethereal laments that seem to emanate from the building's very core. These are not fleeting anomalies. They are recurring auditory phenomena, spectral remnants of a collective anguish that permeates the building's fabric. The swimming pool within Uchida Hall also carries its own whispered legends, a less defined but equally persistent sense of the uncanny. These unsettling manifestations are widely interpreted as a residual haunting, the indelible imprints of past suffering, forever echoing the immense human tragedy endured within these walls decades ago. Therefore, as you navigate the grounds of San Jose State University, particularly around Uchida Hall, proceed with a heightened sense of awareness. Listen closely to the faint, almost imperceptible sounds that intermingle with the sounds of modern campus life. The past here is not merely relegated to history books. It is a palpable, mournful entity, a constant and chilling reminder that some wounds run so deep, they scar the very fabric of reality. The specters of Uchida Hall stand as a potent challenge, a timeless grief, waiting to be acknowledged by those sensitive enough to hear its mournful call. Six. California Theater, San Jose. The velvet seats of an old theater absorb more than just patrons' weight. They soak in whispers, gasps, and the lingering residue of countless human emotions, becoming silent witnesses to the fleeting dramas played out both on stage and in the hushed darkness of the auditorium. Within the vibrant heart of San Jose, California, stands the venerable California Theater, a structure that has presided over nearly a century of such ephemeral existence. Opened in 1927 as the opulent Fox Theater, its very foundations were laid with the promise of grandeur, designed by the celebrated architects Weeks and Day, immediately earning the distinction as the finest theater in California. Local whispers might not recount specters stalking the aisles, yet the building itself carries a palpable sense of its long, complex history, a weight that settles in the quiet moments between performances. This magnificent structure, once a beacon for vaudeville and cutting-edge cinema, experienced its own kind of mortality, falling into disuse, and eventually closing its doors in 1973 after decades of continuous operation and multiple changes in ownership. For years, its grand facade shielded a decaying interior, a period of silent dormancy before its eventual resurrection, a monumental $75 million restoration. Spanning from 2001 to 2004, painstakingly resurrected its 1920s opulence, transforming it into the state-of-the-art performing arts venue it is today, home to opera and symphony, but what truly becomes of the echoes of 1,000 forgotten performances, the collective breath of generations of audiences, and the energy of silent films and grand orchestral scores, once absorbed into the very fabric of such an enduring institution. While no specific tragic hauntings are widely documented for this specific location, the sheer volume of life lived and art consumed within its walls creates an undeniable atmospheric residue. The meticulously restored plasterwork and the rich fabrics seem to hold secrets from a bygone era, suggesting that perhaps not everything that occurred here has truly departed. The two commissioned Wurlitzer organs, capable of stirring souls with their powerful notes, add another layer to this profound historical resonance, as if sounding out memories from the deep past. Tread carefully through its hallowed halls, for the California Theater is a living monument to time itself. And who is to say what vestiges of its vibrant past might still subtly linger, observing those who now walk its revitalized floors? Seven, Mount Umunhum, San Jose. Perched atop the towering Mount Umunhum in San Jose, an ominous concrete monolith, affectionately dubbed the Cube, casts a long shadow over Silicon Valley. But this stark relic of a forgotten age hides a past far more profound and unsettling than its utilitarian exterior suggests. Long before its Cold War sentinel stood guard, Mount Umunhum, meaning resting place of the hummingbird in Oflone languages, was considered sacred ground by the Amamutsan people, the very site of their creation story where the brave hummingbird brought fire to the world. They performed sacred ceremonies here, believing the mountain brought them closer to the Creator, a spiritual connection deeply woven into the very fabric of the land for millennia. Yet, this ancient sanctity was violently interrupted in the late 1950s when the U.S. Air Force established the Almaden Air Force Station, transforming the peak into a vigilant outpost against Soviet bombers. The colossal 5-ton radar antenna, housed within the 5-story concrete cube, relentlessly scanned the skies for 22 years, its powerful signals interfering with local radio and television. A constant, unsettling hum across the valley. Life on the exposed summit was harsh, subjected to extreme temperatures, 100 miles per hour winds, and isolated conditions where military families lived a world apart, creating a strange, self-contained community. When the station finally closed in 1980, deemed obsolete by satellite technology, it left behind a scarred landscape, riddled with hazardous materials and partially demolished structures, closing the summit to the public for decades. Whispers still haunt the winding Hicks Road leading to the mountain, tales of satanic cults, cannibals, and blood-sucking entities that stalk the shadowed ravines. though concrete evidence remains elusive. The chilling albino cannibals myth persists, passed down through generations, painting a grim picture of unspeakable horrors lurking just beyond the roadside. Even the spectral Lady of the Mountain is rumored to linger, a phantom remnant of a solitary life once lived in a forgotten cabin on the trails. So, as you gaze upon Mount Umunhum's imposing silhouette, consider the layers of its history: a sacred birthplace, a Cold War sentinel, and a brooding wilderness whispered to hold darker secrets. Should you choose to ascend its winding paths, be mindful of what you seek, for some legends are best left undisturbed, and some presences, though unseen, remain eternally vigilant. San Jose Improv, San Jose. The laughter that echoes through the historic San Jose Improv is often punctuated by an unseen chill, a whisper of a past that refuses to stay silent within its ornate walls. This venerable establishment, known today for uproarious comedy, was once the Grand Jose Theater, the oldest surviving theater in San Jose. Its foundations laid in 1903. For over a century, it has been a silent witness to a multitude of human emotions, from the joyful exuberance of vaudeville acts to the hushed reverence of cinematic dramas. Yet, its deep history conceals more than just entertainment memories. It holds the lingering shadows of those who never truly left the stage. Local whispers and unsettling tales have long clung to the building at 62 South 2nd Street, hinting at an undercurrent of profound unease beneath the vibrant performances. Staff members, even those unfamiliar with the building's darker lore, frequently report an inexplicable discomfort when venturing beneath the stage, a feeling rooted in a devastating century-old tragedy. Indeed, a chilling oral tradition speaks of a catastrophic fire that erupted around 1910, consuming the performers' dressing rooms located directly below the main stage. In that terrifying inferno, it is said, several actors and actresses met their untimely end, their aspirations and lives extinguished in a blaze of smoke and terror, their final cries perhaps still echoing in the subterranean darkness. The spectral echoes of this harrowing past are not merely folklore, confined to hushed conversations. In approximately 2008, the renowned Ghost Hunters team dedicated 2 nights to meticulously investigate any paranormal phenomena within the improv. Their thorough inquiry reportedly yielded compelling evidence, particularly near the staff entrance to the upstairs bar, an area where bartenders had long reported doors opening and closing inexplicably on their own. During their review of overnight footage, the ghost hunters claimed to have captured distinct audio of an old man's voice, repeatedly yelling with territorial anger, "Get the hell out of my bar." This aggressive, spectral assertion, perhaps from a disgruntled former patron or a performer whose spirit remains bound, points to an enduring claim over the venue. The San Jose Improv consistently features in local discussions of haunted places, a testament to its pervasive, eerie atmosphere. So, as you settle into your seat, ready for an evening of entertainment, consider the history seeping from the very stage boards and the unseen audience that may be sharing your laughter. Do you dare to venture into the depths beneath the stage, where the warmth of the spotlights cannot reach, and the memories of a fiery past burn eternally? Or perhaps you'll simply find yourself wondering if that unexpected draft, that sudden shiver down your spine, is merely the air conditioning or a spectral breath on your neck. 9. Hellyer County Park, San Jose. Beneath the placid surface of Hellyer County Park, where Coyote Creek meanders through urban green spaces, and the Hellyer Velodrome echoes with distant cheers, a deeper, more unsettling history lies etched into the very soil. This seemingly tranquil haven in San Jose, once homeland to Ohlone-speaking Tamian and Matalan people, later traversed by Spanish explorers and molded by gold rush settlers, carries the weight of centuries Its transformation from a bustling rock quarry and landfill to a recreational park in the 1960s hints at a landscape constantly reshaped, perhaps leaving behind more than just industrial scars. But it's beyond the park's main trails and picnic areas that the truest shivers are often felt. Whispers persist of a specific, notoriously haunted house nearby, its dark legend intertwining with the park's broader mystique. Locals recount chilling tales of tragic events unfolding within its walls, citing everything from lost love and betrayal to grim, unfinished business. The most pervasive rumors speak of a grisly triple homicide or a murder-suicide, leaving an entire family brutally slain. Their spirits allegedly bound to the desolate structure. Visitors to the abandoned residence have reported unexplainable phenomena, flickering lights, sudden, bone-chilling cold spots, and even fleeting glimpses of apparitions. One particularly unsettling account describes monks, or perhaps priests, who attempted an exorcism only to fall asleep in a bedroom and inexplicably awaken in the garage, the very place where one of the victims was purportedly hanged. While some modern interpretations suggest that the so-called curse rocks surrounding the property are merely elements of Vietnamese feng shui, placed for prosperity rather than spiritual containment, the profound human tragedy associated with the house continues to fuel the ominous narrative. So, as you traverse the peaceful trails of Hellyer County Park, a lingering question hangs in the air. Are the spectral tales merely folklore, or do the echoes of forgotten sorrow truly permeate this landscape? For those brave enough to seek out the truth, the park and its shadowed environs serve as a chilling reminder that some histories refuse to stay buried, whispering their dark secrets to any who dare to listen. 10. Lick Observatory, San Jose. High above the bustling lights of San Jose, cloaked in the silent majesty of Mount Hamilton, stands the Lick Observatory, a sentinel gazing into the cosmic abyss. Since 1888, this world-renowned institution, the first permanently occupied mountaintop observatory, has pierced the veil of night. Yet some whisper of a spectral gaze that also wanders its hallowed domes. Suspicion has long clung to the observatory, rooted deeply in its unique and macabre genesis. James Lick, the eccentric millionaire whose immense wealth built this monument to the stars, had a final unsettling request that cemented his eternal connection to the site: to be interred beneath the colossal 36-inch Great Refractor Telescope. His remains, a permanent fixture in the very foundation of scientific discovery, were sealed there in 1887, making him, quite possibly, the only individual globally to rest eternally beneath such an instrument. It was a profound act, a testament to his peculiar vision and an unwavering desire for a lasting legacy. Yet it birthed a lingering question among those who work the night shifts. Does the benefactor truly rest, or does his spirit continue to survey the cosmos he so painstakingly enabled? Analysis of whispered accounts and unsettling observations suggests the latter. Staff members have recounted chilling experiences within the observatory's historic walls. Unexplained cold drafts sweeping through the research halls, doors slamming shut with no discernible cause, and a palpable sense of an unseen presence that sometimes seems to manifest just beyond the periphery of vision. The most persistent and unsettling rumor claims that James Lick's restless spirit still resides within the observatory, occasionally manipulating the massive telescope he so passionately funded, turning its grand lens towards the distant stars he yearned to explore in perpetuity. This phantom astronomer, perhaps still pursuing celestial wonders or ensuring his extraordinary gift remains focused on the heavens, ensures his legacy transcends mere bricks, mortar, and powerful lenses. The observatory has stoically endured modern-day challenges, from fierce wildfires that threaten to engulf its peak to destructive winds tearing at its ancient domes. Yet these ethereal disturbances persist, an intrinsic part of its enduring mystery, a silent testament to its peculiar patron. So, as you traverse the notoriously winding 365 turns of Mount Hamilton Road, ascending towards this beacon of astronomical marvel, be warned, for while the vastness of space may hold infinite secrets for the living, Lick Observatory harbors its own, a resident spirit forever bound to his grand design. You may witness the universe unfold through humanity's most powerful eyes, but you might also feel the chilling touch of an unseen hand, a ghostly presence still reaching for the cosmic beyond, eternally monitoring his cherished domain. Bernal-Gulnac-Joice Ranch, San Jose. Nestled within the undulating foothills of San Jose, the Bernal-Gulnac-Joice Ranch stands as a silent testament to centuries of unfolding narratives, its weathered structures and ancient lands holding secrets far deeper than mere historical records. A palpable hush often settles upon the grounds, particularly around the Santa Teresa Spring, a natural freshwater source that once promised healing, its waters flowing forth from a rock touched by a mysterious black-robed woman in an Olone folk tale. Yet, this hallowed ground, named Rancho Santa Teresa in 1826 by Jose Joaquin Bernal after the patron saint of healing, seems to harbor more than just benevolent spirits. Beneath the veneer of restoration and historical preservation, whispers of unsettling events and lingering presences suggest a darker past, a subtle discord woven into the very fabric of the estate. The land itself, having witnessed brutal bear bull fights tethered to the ancient bear tree during the Spanish-Mexican Rancho era, feels imbued with a primitive, violent energy. Locals and visitors have reported unsettling encounters, and stories of restless spirits abound. Perhaps the most chilling tale revolves around Dottie's Pond, fed by the very spring once revered for its curative powers. Here, local legend recounts the tragic demise of a young woman named Dottie, driven to a fit of murderous rage after being separated from her beloved. She allegedly slaughtered her parents. Overcome by an unbearable guilt, Dottie sought solace in the cold embrace of the pond, only to be dragged beneath its surface by unseen demon hands. Her spectral presence is said to haunt the pond's tranquil waters, forever trapped in her watery grave. Furthermore, reports surface of unquiet indigenous spirits, ghosts of Indians, seen by neighbors near where ancient bones were discovered on the property, adding another layer of somber history to the ranch's spectral tapestry. Even modern paranormal investigations have lent credence to these claims, with digital voice recorders capturing inexplicable electronic voice phenomena (EVPs) within the ranch house, suggesting an unseen intelligence still resides within its walls. Approach Dottie's Pond with caution, if you dare, and certainly never venture too close to the water's edge after dusk. The grasping hands that pulled Dottie down are said to still linger, eternally seeking to claim another soul. For those who walk the grounds, particularly near the old barns, one of which is reputedly a hotbed of paranormal activity and now closed off for safety, the air grows heavy, the shadows deepen, and the echoes of centuries past may just reach out and touch you, leaving an indelible chill long after you've left the ranch behind. This is a place where history doesn't just rest. It actively breathes, watching, waiting. La Forêt Restaurant San Jose. Nestled deep within the verdant, whispering foothills of San Jose's Almaden Valley, where a quiet stream meanders through ancient trees, stands La Forêt Restaurant. Its elegant French facade belies a history steeped in the rugged, desperate toil of a bygone era, a past that many claim still clings to its venerable walls like a cold, unseen mist. The aroma of exquisite cuisine may fill its dining rooms, but for those attuned to the echoes of the past, something far more chilling permeates the very air. Long before it became a sanctuary for fine dining, This historically significant building, erected in 1848, served a far grittier purpose. It was the first two-story hotel in California, a vital creekside boarding house for the Quicksilver miners drawn to the riches of New Almaden. These were men whose lives were defined by dangerous labor, hardship, and often premature ends. Local whispers persist, fueled by decades of unexplained occurrences, that the spirits of these long-dead miners never truly departed. The very ground on which La Forêt rests, adjacent to the notorious Almaden Quicksilver mines, is saturated with their struggle and, perhaps, their spectral essence. Diners, often caught unaware during an evening of culinary delight, have reported chilling encounters. Shadowy figures are glimpsed in the periphery of vision, fleeting forms that vanish upon closer inspection. A palpable sense of unease can descend unexpectedly in certain areas, a sudden drop in temperature, or the inexplicable feeling of being watched, an invisible presence lingering just beyond the veil of perception. These aren't just isolated anecdotes. The consistent nature of these reports paints a disturbing picture, suggesting that the former inhabitants, those hardy Quicksilver miners, continue to occupy the rooms they once called home. Their spectral presence, a testament to lives cut short or bound to the earth by unseen forces, manifests as a lingering chill, a fleeting shadow, or a profound, unsettling quiet. The restaurant's deeply historic setting, rather than offering comfort, provides a fertile ground for these spiritual encounters. So, as you savor a meticulously prepared dish within La Foret's refined embrace, remember the forgotten souls who once walked these floors, their ambitions and tragedies etched into the very foundation. Listen closely. Is that the clinking of a wine glass, or the faint, distant echo of a miner's pick? For within the quiet elegance of La Forêt, you might just find yourself sharing a table with history, a history that refuses to stay buried. Tread carefully, for in places like this, the past isn't just remembered, it breathes. Overfelt Gardens, San Jose. The setting sun casts long, skeletal shadows across the meticulously kept pathways of Overfelt Gardens in San Jose, a verdant sanctuary renowned for its tranquil Chinese cultural garden and serene percolation ponds, donated by Mildred Overfelt in 1959 to be a place of rest, relaxation, aesthetic, and other enjoyment. Its calm facade belies an unsettling undercurrent. The rustling leaves and gentle flow of water often mask whispers from a time long past, when this 33-acre expanse was merely a part of the pioneering Overfelt family's grain and dairy farms. Established in the 1850s, one might find solace here during the day. Yet as twilight deepens, an inexplicable dread can settle upon the unprepared visitor. Beneath the veneer of cultivated peace, rumors persist of disturbances that defy the idyllic setting. While no specific tragedy is widely publicized within the park's history that would directly account for spectral residents, the land itself bears witness to generations of life and perhaps abrupt ends. It is in the quiet, utilitarian corners, away from the grandeur of the Confucius statue or the Great Gate, that the most unnerving accounts emerge. One such chilling incident, shared by a visitor, describes an encounter within the park's unassuming restrooms as dusk descended. It was the evening time. Sun was setting down, almost dark. The account begins, my friends and I were walking towards the restrooms. Then all of a sudden we heard loud moaning coming from the restrooms, but the crying in pain kind, this agonizing sound, a raw expression of suffering, abruptly ceased. Driven by a primal curiosity or perhaps a desperate need for answers, the group approached, only for the cries to resume. Upon entering, the women's restroom was empty, as was the men's, yet a friend who checked beneath a stall in the men's room reported a horrifying revelation. Someone cried in their face, but there was nobody. A disembodied wail, a voice without a body, trapped within the sterile confines of a public facility. A stark contrast to the natural beauty just outside, So, when you next stroll through Overfelt Gardens, admiring the reflection pond or the wildlife sanctuary, remember the unsettling tales whispered at its edges. The tranquility can be deceptive, a fragile veil over lingering echoes. Beware the encroaching darkness, and listen closely to the sounds that emanate from seemingly empty spaces. For in Overfelt Gardens, the peace you seek may be shared with something ancient, unseen, and forever bound to the silent cries of the past. Pioneer High School, San Jose. The sprawling urban tapestry of San Jose, California, holds countless forgotten whispers and shadowed histories, where the weight of the past often presses heavy on the present. Yet, nestled within this vibrant landscape, stands a peculiar void, a modern institution that seems to defy the very fabric of local legend. Pioneer High School, opened in 1960, this highly rated public school in the Almaden Valley neighborhood is a beacon of academic achievement and community engagement, far removed from the decrepit manors or ancient burial grounds. Typically associated with the paranormal, one might search for tales of spectral students roaming its meticulously maintained halls after the last bell, or a tragic incident from its nascent years, leaving an indelible, ethereal stain upon the campus. However, the annals of local lore and historical accounts remain strikingly silent on any such occurrences directly linked to Pioneer High. The suspicion arises not from a chilling incident, but from its very absence in a city rich with stories of ghostly joggers, phantom arms seeking reunion, and haunted historic buildings. The clean, unblemished narrative of Pioneer High itself becomes unsettling. Analysis reveals a history primarily focused on educational excellence, strong athletic programs, and a mission emphasizing service learning. There are no documented reports of mysterious deaths, unexplained disappearances, or the lingering spirits of former inhabitants within the school's confines. Its relatively recent establishment in the mid-20th century means it lacks the deep, often turbulent, historical roots that foster genuine folklore. Perhaps the true horror here is the modern sterility, the clinical efficiency that leaves no room for the echoes of human tragedy. Or perhaps the shadows it casts are not supernatural, but rather the quiet, unseen pressures of academic rigor and societal expectations. The silence is deafening, a stark contrast to the expected cacophony of the supernatural. So, walk these halls at your own risk, not for the fear of a spectral encounter, but for the profound unease that settles when a place, by all accounts, should harbor secrets, yet offers none. What mysteries lie dormant in such an unblemished facade? Or is the lack of a haunting merely a different kind of chilling unknown? Beware the places where history is too clean, for sometimes the most unsettling truth is the absence of a visible scar. Luis Maria Peralta Adobe, San Jose. Amidst San Jose's gleaming tech towers, a weathered relic stands apart. The Luis Maria Peralta Adobe, built in 1797. Its sun-baked mud bricks absorb the modern city's hum, yet whisper tales of an older, darker reality. This isn't merely a landmark, it's a cold, silent portal where the veil between past and present thins, inviting a profound chill not from the California breeze, but from lingering echoes of the departed. Within its ancient walls, local whispers and stark history converge on disquiet. Jose Manuel Gonzalez, an Apache Indian and San Jose's founder, first built and inhabited this adobe in 1797, enduring the brutal frontier life of the nascent pueblo. Later, Luis Maria Peralta, a prominent Spanish soldier, made it his family home around 1808, though 17 children were born. A staggering 8 tragically perished before adulthood. Imagine the silent anguish, the desperate prayers, the profound grief of parents burying their young. Such intense human sorrow etches indelible marks, clinging to thick adobe walls like a spectral shroud, refusing to dissipate. Today, The spectral residue of these lives lingers, palpable and unsettling. The Luis Maria Peralta Adobe is widely regarded as one of San Jose's most haunted locations. Visitors report unsettling phenomena, fleeting glimpses of shadowy figures in period clothing, moving swiftly through doorways or at vision's periphery. Disembodied voices, faint and indistinct, murmur from empty rooms, their words lost to time but sorrow undeniably present. An inexplicable, eerie presence descends upon those who linger, a heavy sensation that crawls under the skin, chilling the bravest hearts. The very air hums with a spectral chorus of lives lived and tragically cut short. Should you find yourself drawn to its unassuming entrance, be warned. To step across the threshold of the Luis Maria Peralta Adobe is to invite the direct gaze of those who never truly left. Tread lightly, for you are not merely walking through history. You are treading upon the spectral ground of its enduring inhabitants. They are watching, listening, bound by joy, sorrow, and perhaps a restless, eternal search for peace. Dare you disturb their timeless vigil? That wraps our ghostly tour of San Jose. If you braved it, hit like and subscribe for more frights. Which place scared you most? Tell us in the comments. Next time, we're exploring the spectral secrets of an abandoned asylum. You won't want to miss it. Stay spooky.